Hello students, myself Nida Sheikh from Department of Chemistry, Government Vidarbh Institute of Science and Humanities, Amravati. In this video, we are going to discuss about the second part of BSc Practical, that is Inorganic Qualitative Analysis. Now, before we learn about the methods of analysis of a salt mixture, let us understand what we actually mean by salt. When an acid is neutralized, the hydrogen ion of the acid is replaced by a positive ion from the alkali or base. The ionic compound that is formed is called salt. Means simple salt is made up of one cation and one anion. For example, sodium chloride. Now how we get sodium chloride? So when base sodium hydroxide reacts with acid HCl, we get the salt NaCl along with water. Now in sodium chloride, that is NaCl, sodium positive is the cation which is derived from the base. That's why this cation is called as basic radical, and chloride is derived from acid. That's why this anion is called as acidic radical. In inorganic qualitative analysis, you have to detect two acidic and two basic radicals from given mixture. Now, what is qualitative analysis? So, it is the analysis, that is detection and identification of cations and anions present in a given compound and salt mixture. The analysis involves three main steps. First one is preliminary test, or that is also called as dry test. Second step is detection of acidic radicals or anionic part of the mixture. Third step is detection of basic radicals or cationic part of the mixture. So while doing this analysis, you should have to keep in mind some points, that are: first, make preliminary observation about the unknown substances. Then carry out the test in the order given. Then make observations and record them in a suitable format. After this, draw conclusion from the observation. Then identify the unknown substances. Now first discuss about preliminary test. These steps further contains three simple steps. In the first step, you have to observe color of the salt. Most of the given salt will be having no color. In such case, you have to write white or colorless. Of course, we have some salts which are colored. For example, the salt of manganese ion is pale pink in color. The salt of ferrous are green in color. Copper salts are blue in color. So, observe the color of the given salt and write it as a first step. In the second step, you have to detect the nature of given salt, whether it is crystalline or amorphous. For example, if you take normal table salt or sodium chloride, if you take a pinch of sodium chloride and rub it in between your finger, you will feel the roughness. So, such salts are called crystalline salt. Similarly, if you take the talcum powder and touch it, you will feel the smoothness. So, such salts are called as amorphous. Therefore, in the second step of preliminary test, you have to detect the nature of given salt, whether it is a crystalline or amorphous. Finally, you have to check the solubility of given salt in cold water, in hot water, in dilute HCl and in dilute NaOH. So what you have to do, take the test tube and add pinch of salt. To this, add 1 ml of cold water. Shake it properly. If your salt is soluble in water, then write it as soluble in observation table. And if it is not soluble, then write it as a insoluble. Then boil the water and check the solubility in hot water. Then check the solubility in dilute HCl and in dilute NaOH. The second step is detection of acidic radicals or anionic part of mixture. The acidic radical is basically divided into three groups as first group, second group and third group. The first group contains four radicals, that is carbonate ion, sulfite ion and nitrite ion. Second group contains four radicals, that is chloride ion, bromide ion iodide ion and nitrate ion. And the third group has only one radical, that is sulfate ion. So here most of the groups have specific reagents like dilute HCl, dilute H2SO4, concentrated H2SO4, etc. You can easily learn everything if you remember the names of those radicals, that means the radicals belonging to each group and specific reagent and the characteristic observation when you add those reagents to the salt. Therefore, three things are important here. First one is radical name, second one is specific group reagent, and third one is characteristic observation. So let's see how to detect first group acidic radical. We have total 4 acidic radicals belonging to first group. They are carbonate, sulfide, sulfite and nitrite. The second one is group reagent. So the group reagent for first group is dilute HCl or dilute H2SO4. You can use either HCl or either H2SO4. Now the third point, what is the characteristic observation when you add these reagents to the salt? So you have to see whether any gas is evolving from the test tube or not. Here each radical will be giving particular type of gas when treated with specific group reagent. So you should observe what type of gases evolve for each radical. Now let's see the test for carbonate radical. First, you have to take a pinch of given mixture in a test tube and add either dilute HCl or dilute H2SO4. If you get brisk colorless gas with brisk effervescence, that means in your mixture carbonate radical may be present. In such case, what you have to do? Confirm it by doing confirmatory test. If you don't find such observation, carbonate radical or carbonate ion may be absent. Instead of these observation, if you find colorless gas with smell of rotten eggs, it means sulfide ion may be present. Instead of this observation, if you get colorless gas with pungent smell, it means sulfide ion may be present. And if you get brown gas, then it means that nitrite ion may be present. If you don't find any evolution of gas, it means first group of acidic radical is absent. Then in the given mixture or the given mixture may contain second group or third group acidic radical. The confirmatory test of first group radical is given here. For confirmation of carbonate ion, you have to pass the evolving gas in 1 ml clear lime water. If lime water turns milky, that means that carbonate ion is present or carbonate ion is confirmed. For confirmation of sulfite ion, you have to take a piece of filter paper dipped in freshly prepared dichromate solution. Now bring it at the mouth of test tube. If filter paper turns green, that means that sulfite ion is confirmed. For confirmation of sulfite ion, again you have to take a piece of filter paper dipped in aqueous lead acetate solution. Bring it at the mouth of test tube. If filter paper turns black, that means that sulfide ion is confirmed or sulfide is present in your given mixture. For confirmation of nitrite ion, take a piece of filter paper dipped in starch and potassium iodide solution and bring it at the mouth of test tube. If filter paper turns blue, that means that nitrite ion is confirmed. So depending upon the observation, you have to do confirmatory test of that particular ion. Now let's see how to detect second group radicals. Radicals belonging to second groups are chloride, bromide, iodide and nitrate radical. So there are 4 radicals in second group. The reagent for second group radical is concentrated sulfuric acid. And what is the characteristic observation? Here also you should check the color of fumes evolved. For each radical, specific color of the fumes will be evolved. You should remember that. So for detection of second group radical, take a pinch of salt in a test tube and then add 1 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid. If second group is present, then fumes will be evolved. Now you have to observe the fume colors that is evolved. If your mixture contains chloride ion, then you will get colorless and pungent gas which give dense white fumes when a glass rod dipped in ammonium hydroxide. So chloride may be present. Instead of colorless fumes, if you are getting reddish brown fumes, bromide may be present. If you are getting violet color fumes, iodide may be present. And if you are getting, it means that chloride or bromide are absent. If you don't get any of the above observation, you should move for next radical, that is for nitrate. If nitrate is present, then you will be getting brown fumes. If you observe any of the above changes, then go for the confirmatory test of that particular radical. If you don't find any of the observation, second group radical are also absent and there is no need of doing confirmatory test of that radical. You can go to the third group detection. For confirmation of second group and third group acidic radicals, there is a need of sodium carbonate extract because sodium carbonate extract convert insoluble acidic radicals into their soluble sodium salts, and these make easy to carry out analysis of acidic radicals of group second and group third. So how to prepare sodium carbonate extract? First, you have to take 0.5 gram salt mixture in boiling test tube. To this add 1 gram of pure sodium carbonate and 10 ml of distilled water. Boil the reaction mixture for 10 to 15 minutes and filter it. The filtrate thus obtained is known as sodium carbonate extract. That will use for the confirmation of second group and third group acidic radicals. For confirmation of chloride ion, you have to take 1 ml of sodium carbonate extract and dilute nitric acid and silver nitrate solution. If you get white PPT, that means that chloride ion is confirmed. For confirmation of bromide ion, you have to take 1 ml of SCE plus you have to add dilute nitric acid and aqueous silver nitrate solution. If you get pale yellow PPT, which is partially soluble in sodium hydroxide, it means that bromide ion is confirmed. If you get violet PPT, it means that iodide is confirmed. And for confirmation of nitrate ion, you have to take 1 ml of SCE, that is sodium carbonate extract. To this you have to add dilute HCl and ferrous sulfate solution. Then you have to add few drops of concentrated sulfuric acid. So there is a formation of brown ring at the junction of two solutions. If this obtained, it means that nitrate is confirmed. In third group, only one radical is there, that is sulfate. For first group and second group, we will directly taking salt mixture. But for third group, you should take salt solution, that is salt plus little amount of water. Shake it properly until you get clear solution. If it is insoluble in water, then you can use dilute HCl. So take a aqueous solution of mixture. To this add 1 ml of barium chloride solution to that. If you will get white PPT, sulfate radical may be present in your mixture and go for the confirmatory test for sulfate radical. If you don't get any PPT, it means that sulfate is absent and there is no need to go for confirmatory test. Now let's move to the third step of analysis, that is detection of basic radical or cationic part of mixture. Well, basic radicals are broadly classified in 7 groups starting from 0th group, first group, second group, third group, fourth group, fifth group and sixth group. Just like acid radical, most of the basic radicals also have specific reagent. If you remember the name of radicals belonging to each group and specific group reagent along with the characteristic observation, the detection of basic radicals become easier. There is one important thing to remember, that only the 0th group basic radical is detected directly by taking mixture in a test tube, whereas all other remaining basic radicals from 1st to 6th group, they are detected by taking the salt solution, and that solution is called as original solution. For detection of 0th group, you have to take pinch of salt in a test tube and add 1 to 2 ml of sodium hydroxide solution in that and heat it strongly. If your mixture contains ammonium ion, then pungent smell of ammonia gas is evolved. Then what should you do? Take a glass rod dipped in concentrated HCl, bring it near the mouth of test tube. The ammonia gas that is evolved comes in contact with concentrated HCl and it gives dense white fume. From that you can say that ammonium ion may be present. If there is no evolution of ammonia gas, it means that zeroth group or ammonium ion is absent. In that case, what should you do? Do the test for first group basic radical. As I told you that except zeroth group, all other basic radical is detected by taking salt solution, which is also called as original solution. So let's see how to prepare original solution. First, you have to take the pinch of mixture and dissolve it in suitable solvent. It could be water, dilute HCl, dilute HNO3 depending upon their solubility. So first group onward, you have to use original solution for detection of basic radical. There is only one radical belonging to first group, that is lead ion, and the reagent used for first group radical is dilute HCl. So take 1 ml of original solution, then add 2 to 3 ml of dilute HCl, which is first group reagent. If lead ion is present, then you will be getting white PPT of lead chloride. If you get white PPT, it means that first group basic radical may be present. And to confirm that, do the confirmatory test for lead ion. But if you don't get PPT, first group basic radical is absent, then you have to do the test for second group. There are 3 radicals belonging to second group, lead ion, cupric ion and arsenic ion. The reagent for second group radicals are dilute HCl and H2S gas. Now take 1 ml of original solution. To this add 1 ml of dilute HCl and pass some H2S gas. If you get black PPT, lead or cupric ion may be present. If you get yellow PPT, arsenic ion may be present. So depending upon the type of PPT obtained, do the confirmatory test of that particular radical. If you are not getting any PPT in second group, it means that second group basic radicals are also absent. You should do the test for third group basic radical. So 2 radicals are belonging to third group, ferric ion and aluminium ion. To detect this radical, take 1 ml of original solution, add ammonium chloride and excess of ammonium hydroxide. If you get brown PPT, ferric ion may be present. If you get white PPT, aluminium ion may be present. So depending upon the PPT obtained, do the confirmatory test. Now let's move on the fourth group basic radical. There are total 4 radicals belonging to fourth group: zinc ion, manganese ion, nickel ion and cobalt ion. Now to detect them, take original solution. To this add ammonium chloride and excess of ammonium hydroxide solution and pass some H2S gas. If you get white PPT after this addition, then zinc ion may be present. If you get purple color PPT, then manganese ion may be present. And if you get black PPT, nickel or cobalt ion may be present. So depending upon the PPT obtained, do the confirmatory test of a particular radical. In the fourth group, if you don't get any PPT, it means that fourth group is absent, and do the test for fifth group. In a fifth group, there are 3 radicals: barium ion, strontium ion and cadmium ion. Now to detect this radical, take 1 ml of original solution. To this add ammonium chloride and add excess of ammonium hydroxide. To that add ammonium carbonate solution. If any of the radical of this group is present, then you will get white PPT. Then what you should do? If you get white PPT, do the confirmatory test for barium first. If it answers first, then no need to do confirmatory test for strontium and calcium. But if you don't get PPT, then do the confirmatory test for strontium ion again. Again, if it is answer, then you don't need to do confirmatory test for calcium ion. But if it is not, then do the confirmatory test for calcium ion. So by doing confirmatory test, you will get any one of these radical. If you don't get any PPT after addition of specific reagent, it means that fifth group is absent. Then you should move to the next group, basic radical. So in sixth group only one radical is present or only one radical is there, that is magnesium ion. For the detection of magnesium ion, what you should do? You have to take 1 ml of original solution, add ammonium chloride and excess of ammonium hydroxide solution, then to this add disodium hydrogen phosphate. If you get white crystalline PPT, that means magnesium ion may be present, and do the confirmatory test for magnesium ion. So finally, after doing all these steps, you will be able to detect 2 acidic and 2 basic radicals from given mixture.